In the quiet town of Ikare, deep in the heart of Nigeria, lived a woman named Ajoke. She was in her early 30s, graceful with a warmth that could melt stone, and had been married to Adebayo, a man whose laughter once filled their home like music. But joy turned to sorrow when diabetes took Adebayo too soon. His health had been in decline for years, and despite Ajoke's tireless care, he passed away one quiet night, leaving her alone, childless, and aching. As Adebayo's next of kin, Ajoke inherited his life savings, a modest sum, but enough to start over. In the weeks following his burial, her best friend, Mornike, stayed by her side, offering comfort and counsel. Mornike said one afternoon as they sat in the shade of a mango tree, "Why not start a foodstuff business? You're good with people and everyone needs food." The idea made sense. Ajoke used part of the money to rent a small shop at the bustling edge of the market. She stocked it with rice, gari, beans, spices, palm oil, everything a typical home would need. But the customers didn't come. Days turned into weeks, and Ajoke's smile faded as quickly as her earnings. Worried, she confided in Mornike again. "There's someone I know," Mornike whispered, "a traditionalist. People say his charms work wonders." Desperate, Ajoke agreed. That evening, they traveled to a nearby village to meet Baba Ifagbayi, a vibrant young man that took over his father, with eyes like still water. After listening to her story, he handed her a small clay pot with white chalk writings on it. "Bury this in your shop," he instructed, "but you must not sleep with any man while the charm is active. It will anger the spirits." Ajoke agreed. That night, she buried the pot beneath the floorboards of her shop. The change was not immediately. The next day, Ajoke called her friend complaining about the charm that it was fake, but her friend said Baba cannot mislead her, that she should be patient, changes would come. The following day, people poured in like bees to honey. Her shop buzzed with life, women bargaining, children laughing, men nodding in approval. Word spread, and Ajoke became the most sought-after foodstuff seller in the entire town. Her business blossomed, and with it, her confidence. Then came Depo. He was tall, charming, and claimed to be a civil servant recently transferred to the area. He spoke with a gentleness that disarmed Ajoke. He came often, sometimes to buy, sometimes just to talk. He never wore a ring, and when she asked, he smiled and said, "I'm single, just waiting for the right woman." Flattered and lonely, Ajoke fell for him. One rainy evening, he stayed after closing time. One thing led to another, and the charm's rule was forgotten in the heat of passion. The next day, her shop was quiet. A few customers trickled in, but the energy was gone. By the end of the week, no one came. Rumors began to swirl that her goods were stale, that her prices too high. Her suppliers stopped trusting her with credit. The magic had unraveled. And Depo, he vanished. One afternoon, Ajoke found him at another market, arms around a woman with 2 children, laughing like he'd never met her. Broke, shamed, and evicted from her apartment, Ajoke returned to Mornike's doorstep with nothing. "Why didn't I listen?" she cried. Mornike held her, wordless. In the silence that followed, Ajoke learned a bitter truth: shortcuts never last. And sometimes, the hardest lessons are those wrapped in charm.